You know that feeling? You're trying to keep up with your favorite game and bam, suddenly there's just like a ton of info everywhere. Videos, articles, opinions.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. Trying to find what actually matters in all that noise.
Exactly. So today we're going to cut through that for you. We're diving deep into one game, getting a lot of buzz right now. SNOWBREAK. Containment Zone.
And we've waded through quite a bit for you. We're looking at analysis videos off bilibili.com, plus the fan wiki, which is always, super useful.
Right. And our mission basically is to pull out the key stuff about what's new and what's coming soon in SNOWBREAK, especially characters and like how players are reacting.
Let's get into it. Version 2.8. There's definitely a lot of excitement swirling around this one.
Yeah, I picked up on that. Especially it seems for players who maybe don't have certain characters yet, like Sue was mentioned.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good chance for them.
Oh, absolutely. It brings up that classic gotcha dilemma, doesn't it? Do you pull now for the characters you know are strong, or do you hold out, save those resources for maybe someone even stronger later?
That constant gamble.
Pretty much. And 2.8 seems to be really highlighting that choice for SNOWBREAK players.
Okay, so to help us, and you figure this out, we looked at what some of the big content creators are saying. First up, Shuja, known for being pretty honest, right?
Yeah, usually gives it straight. They got a video breaking down the characters in 2.8.
And who are they focusing on?
Well, they're really zooming in on 2. Dion, like you said, the returning one everyone seems to want.
Right.
The brand new character, Vidya Swansea. So it's a focused look, which is helpful if you're trying to decide, where to put your pulls.
Good. Then we also have Shuja. Sounds like they give more of a full picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their video is more of an overview of everything in 2.8. They cover the banners, where you actually get the characters.
The gotcha itself, yeah.
Right. And they also give their own analysis, some of the new character, Vidya. So yeah, getting it from a couple of different angles is always good.
Definitely helps build a clearer picture.
And it's not just the character's fighting abilities either. Both of these creators are also talking about the new skin's grin.
Ah, the cosmetics. Always important.
Always. And also, any extra optimizations soon? Those quality of life tweaks that can make the game feel better to play.
So it's the whole package for 2.8.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course there's the preview video, the PV. You always got to have the flashy trailer, right? That's apparently stirring up a lot of talk too.
Okay, so all this stuff, the analyses, the overviews, the PV, it's all building up the hype and helping players, plan their strategy.
That's the goal, yeah. Helps you figure out what's coming.
So let's zoom in then. This new character, Vidya Swansea. What's the consensus? What kind of role does she play?
Well, TS calls her Omofen, which basically means she's a support character and one that people have apparently been waiting for, even in a smaller update.
A support character. Okay, that tells you a lot right away about team building.
Her job is likely going to be making your other characters stronger, somehow.
And Kia's analysis, there's Sun. Does it get into specifics?
Presumably, yeah. You'd expect it to break down her skills, who she works well with, synergies, that kind of thing, and, where she might shine in different parts of the game.
So for you listening, this gives you that quick intel on her role without needing to spend hours testing her yourself.
Exactly. Saves you time and resources.
Smart. Now, okay, this one caught my eye. The sources mentioned a big rerun. Talks about the Turkin, strongest wheelchair main DPS.
Laugh slightly. Yeah, it's a memorable name, isn't it? Strongest wheelchair main DPS rerun.
What does that even mean in game terms?
Okay, so EC, or main DPS, that's your primary damage dealer, the core of your team's offense.
Gotcha, but wheelchair.
Well, that term wheelchair, it usually implies a character who is incredibly powerful, like top-tier damage. But maybe they have some kind of limitation, like maybe they're slow or rooted in place when attacking, or need very specific support, something that makes them potentially tricky to play perfectly, despite the raw power.
Okay. So, super strong, but maybe not straightforward to use, high skill, high reward kind of thing.
That's often the implication, yeah. It makes a character interesting, adds depth beyond just big numbers. And this rerun, it throws that resource question back into sharp focus. Do you go for this known, powerful, but perhaps tricky DPS or safer Vidya, or wait for something else entirely.
Decisions.
Always in gacha games.
So it's not just about who you play as, but how you play too. Is 2.8 changing the actual gameplay much?
It looks like it, yeah. There's another video, this one by Odong Gaming, and they highlight something called a cover shooting, like hiding behind things. Seems like it. Cover shooting new gameplay. That's a pretty big shift, potentially.
Yeah.
It means you might need to think more about, positioning using the environment, not just standing there and firing.
Huh. That could really change combat dynamics, couldn't it? Make things more tactical.
Absolutely. It adds a whole new layer. Could make different team setups more viable, maybe favor characters who can use cover well. It definitely freshens things up.
Okay, that is interesting. Now, we mentioned skins earlier. Gotta talk about the cosmetics. G-Dong Gaming pointed out some specific ones.
Oh, yeah. They mentioned, let's see, a Furus play, which sounds like a tequila uniform skin.
Chuckles. Okay, that's specific.
Right. Also a Sewardis uniform for Vidya, the new character, and then new skins for Chase Shou, so for Chengsing, and Laifu too.
A stewardess uniform and a tequila uniform play. They know their audience, I guess. But seriously, skins are a huge part of the appeal for many players, right? That visual customization.
Totally. It lets you personalize your favorites, show off a bit. It's a big motivator in these games.
So, with all this coming new character, returning powerhouse, cover shooting, flashy skins, how's the community actually feeling? What's the vibe?
Pretty positive, it seems. According to Dong Gaming, that preview video I mentioned, people are saying it's hadeening, full of fun memes and jokes. So it sounds like the promo stuff landed really well, got people laughing and excited. Maybe hints at a slightly more lighthearted tone for this update.
That's always good. A bit of fun helps build the hype. And didn't that video title also ask something interesting, like love comedy or high quality answer?
Yeah. It's a cool way to frame expectations. Is this update going to be more about like fun character interactions and store the love comedy part? Or is it going to deliver serious gameplay improvements and address player feedback, the high quality answer?
Or maybe both.
Hopefully both. But it shows players are thinking about the narrative and the gameplay systems.
And are there specific things players are latching onto?
Seems so. AGN's Dudidong Gaming noted a particular focus on Duji. That's Little Teacher Sukui, and again, the new skins, shows how different parts of an update grab different people's attention.
Right, caters to everyone. Okay, let's take a quick step back. We mentioned the fan wiki. It gives us a peek at what just happened in version 2.7, right? To the peak of the abyss.
Exactly. Context is key. The wiki shows that version 2.7, which just wrapped up end of May, actually introduced 3 new characters.
3. Wow, who were they?
Let's see. Nelly the Styx Ferryman, Shi Iji, and Nita Dundubi.
Okay, so the game keeps a pretty steady pace of adding new faces. That's good to know for planning.
Definitely shows the flow. And 2.7 wasn't just characters. The wiki mentions an event called Heartbeat Puzzle.
Heartbeat Puzzle sounds different.
Yeah, it suggests maybe a mini game or some kind of unique event mechanic. It shows they're mixing up the content, not just adding characters and main story. Keeps things from getting stale,
Variety is good. And circling back to 2.8 and getting characters, the banners, the Tina covered those.
With the 2.8 Cham banner info. And like we said, that's critical. Knowing who's on rate-up, what the odds are, that's how you manage your polls if you're trying to get specific characters like Vidya or the rerun DPS. It all comes down to the gacha.
The heart of the beast. Okay, one last point from Odong Gaming. They mentioned the wider market. Something about competition.
Yeah, they brought up, basically the competition in the gacha game space, especially these anime-style ones, is getting really fierce.
And what does that mean for players?
Well, interestingly, the sentiment mentioned alongside that was, players are eating better and better.
Meaning, more free stuff, better deals.
Kind of, yeah. It suggests that because these companies are fighting so hard for players' time and money, they're having to offer more generous rewards, maybe higher quality updates, more player-friendly systems, just to stay competitive. So weirdly, the tough competition might actually be benefiting you, the player.
Huh. An arms race, but for player satisfaction. Interesting take.
It's definitely a factor in the background.
Okay, wow. We covered a lot there. Let's try and boil it down. What are the big takeaways for you about SNOWBREAK right now?
All right. So version 2.8 is looking pretty significant. Big hype for the new support, Vidya, and that powerful DPS rerun. Then there's the cover shooting, which could genuinely change how you play the core game.
Right, the new mechanic.
Plus, you've got those eye-catching skins satisfying the customization crowd. And the general vibe seems positive, maybe helped by that funny PV.
Yeah.
And underpinning it all is this idea that the tough market competition might be pushing the game to deliver more for players.
That wraps it up pretty well. It really leaves you with a question, though, doesn't it?
What's that?
Well, thinking about all these updates, the characters, the gameplay shifts, the market pressure, what parts of Snowbreak, or maybe even this whole gacha genre feel the most, I don't know, compelling? Or maybe even concerning when you look ahead. Definitely something to chew on.